Hello, students. So let's continue our NCRT chapter 7, that is alcohol, phenols, and ethers. And today is the theory part 7. So, this is the disclaimer. Now, for your reference, I have mapped the NCERT sections that we will cover today. So, first, we will see what is the objective of today's lecture. So, after you will attend this lecture, you will be able to understand the topics which we are going to cover today. So, you will be able to understand the chemical reactions of alcohols and phenols on the basis of their functional group. So, today now we will discuss their chemical reactions, okay, on the basis of the functional groups they have. Now look at these NCERT sections that we will cover today. We will cover 7.4.4, that is chemical reactions. We will solve an example, that is 7.4, for your better understanding. And we will solve a NCERT exercise question, that is 7.22. Okay, so let's begin with today's lecture. So today we'll be dealing with the chemical reactions. So, if I talk about the reactivity of alcohols, then there is one thing about alcohol that it can behave or it can react as both nucleophile as well as an electrophile. Okay, so it can behave in both manners, as a nucleophile also and as a electrophile also. So, your nucleophile, that means it has an electron density. Okay, and your electrophile means that the electron density is less. Okay, so first we will see that how your alcohols act as a nucleophile. Okay, so when your alcohols act as a nucleophile, the bond between the O and H is broken. Okay, so when it will behave as a nucleophile, you need to remember the bond between oxygen and hydrogen. That bond is broken. Now let us see how this bond is broken. Now look, this is an alcohol, that is R. To this R, your hydroxyl group is attached. Now this is a carbocation. You see this carbon, it has a positive charge and it has only 3 bonds. So now this carbon is electron deficient. Okay, and this oxygen on your alcohol has lone pairs to donate. So now this oxygen over here is acting as a nucleophile. So nucleophile will attack where where there is electron density is less. So it will this nucleophile will attack on this carbon which is electron deficient. Okay, so this is your nucleophile. Here oxygen is acting as a nucleophile. So see, this oxygen will donate its lone pair to this electron deficient carbon. Look at this step, that is RO, and this is your this carbon gets attached to this oxygen. Okay, and here it is a positive charge. Now this oxygen will not like this positive charge. So since you know this oxygen and hydrogen bond is polar, so what will happen? The hydrogen will leave, that is this H plus will leave, and you will get this compound, that is RO, and this carbon gets attached to this oxygen. So here we saw that initially you have this OH bond in alcohols, and when you came to the final product, you will see that you will get oxygen carbon bond. So what you can see, that your oxygen hydrogen bond gets broken. Okay, so because this oxygen hydrogen gets broken, so in this case your alcohol will act as a nucleophile. Okay, so I hope this is clear. When it is acting as a nucleophile, OH bond is broken. Now next we will see that what happens when your alcohol act as an electrophile. Okay, now if your alcohol will act as an electrophile, then the bond between carbon and oxygen is broken. Electrophiles means it will be electron deficient. Now we have to somehow make this alcohol electron deficient. Okay, so what we will do, See, we will protonate this OH group. This is your alcohol which has this OH group. So we will protonate this hydroxyl group. That means when you will protonate this hydroxyl group with H plus, you will see it is RCH2OH2 plus. Now this oxygen has a positive charge. The oxygen never likes a positive charge in itself. So next what will happen here, your Br minus. Now Br minus acts as a nucleophile. Okay. Now what will happen, your Br minus will attack on this carbon and this OH2 group will leave from here. Okay. So see, in the next step, your Br gets attached to this carbon and your water leaves from here. So this is how your alcohol act as an electrophile. Initially, you will see that there is this carbon and oxygen bond. And in your final step, there is no carbon oxygen bond. So the carbon oxygen bond is broken because bromine is acting as a nucleophile. It attacked on this carbon and where your OH2 group will leave. And finally, this will be formed. This compound will be formed. Okay, so I told you both the ways that if alcohol is acting as a nucleophile, OH bond is broken, and if alcohol acts as an electrophile, then your CO bond is broken. Okay, so the reaction of alcohols and phenols, it is divided into two groups. That is the reaction which is involving the cleavage of OH bond and the reactions which is involving the cleavage of CO bond. So we saw in above both cases, in this first case how your OH bond is cleaved, and we saw in the second case how your carbon and oxygen bond is cleaved. So the reaction is divided into two main groups: cleavage of OH bond and cleavage of CO bond. Okay. Now, first we will study about the reactions that involve the cleavage of OH bond. That means your OH bonds get cleaved. So when your OH bond cleaves, what happens? How does your alcohol behaves? Your alcohol is behaving as a nucleophile in this case. Okay. Now, if I talk about acidity of alcohols and phenols, then we will see some reactions of alcohols and phenols. The first reaction that we will see is the reaction of alcohols and phenols with metals. Okay. Next, we will see acidity of alcohols. Next, we will see the acidity of phenols. Okay. And then we will see the esterification. So, all these reactions involve the cleavage of OH bond. So, we will see that when we compare the acidity of alcohols and phenols, which one is more acidic and why is it more acidic. So your all these reactions will involve your cleavage of OH bond. So one by one in detail we will discuss all these reactions. Now let us look the reactions involving the cleavage of OH bond. So first reaction that we are going to study is the reaction with metals. Okay. Now what happens that your alcohols and phenols, they react with active metals. Metals like sodium, potassium or aluminium. So we will see that how these alcohols and phenols react with these active metals. So you all must have studied this thing in your 9th and 10th standard, that whenever your acid react with metal, they form a salt and hydrogen gas is liberated. Okay, this is a very basic reaction we studied. I'm repeating, when your acid reacts with any metal, we will see a salt is formed and your hydrogen gas is released. Okay, example take like sodium is a metal and your hydrogen chloride is an acid. So when HCl and Na will react, you will see it will form NaCl and H2 gas will be liberated. So here also you will see that when your alcohols and phenols react with your metals, it liberates the hydrogen gas. So what is this indicating? It is indicating that your alcohols and phenols are acidic in nature. It is indicating their acidic nature. Because they are acidic in nature, that is why when they react with metal, your H2 gas is liberated. Okay, I hope this point is clear. So look at this reaction. What you have here? Alcohol, that is ROH. Now see, the reaction is balanced. Okay, so here you have an alcohol and here you have a sodium which act as a metal. So see, when this alcohol is acting with a metal, that is sodium, you form a sodium alkoxide, that is RO minus Na plus, because this alcohol is acting as an acid. So if it acts as an acid, it will leave this H plus, that it will give away this H plus. This is the tendency of alcohol, that it donates a proton. So if this is acting as an alcohol, you will see when it reacts with a metal, a sodium alkoxide is formed, that is RO minus Na plus. And see here, hydrogen gas is liberated, that is H2 gas is liberated. Now see, is this reaction involving the cleavage of OH bond? Yes, of course. Here there is an OH bond over here. And when you react it with a metal, you see that OH bond is broken because the hydrogen gas is liberated. So here in this case, your alcohol is acting as a nucleophile. So this is when your alcohols react with metals, it forms the alkoxide and your hydrogen gas is being released. Similarly, look at this. This is a tertiary butyl alcohol. Why is this tertiary? Because see, this carbon is further connected to other three carbons. That is why this is a tertiary. Okay, and this is a common name, not the IUPAC name. This is tertiary butyl alcohol because in this compound contains four carbon atoms. That is why the root word is butyl and alcohol. So this is tertiary butyl alcohol. Now see here, this is OH bond. So again, see, when this your alcohol reacts with a metal, so you will see what will happen. Hydrogen gas is liberated and your Al get attached to this compound. So see, when it is reacting with aluminium, so your Al gets attached to this compound and your hydrogen gas is released. So this is aluminium tertiary butoxide. Okay, and again see here, the OH bond which we were initially having in alcohol, this bond is cleaved. Look at the product side, there is no OH bond because the aluminium is now attached to this compound, to this compound. So this forms aluminium tertiary butoxide. Okay. Similarly, look for phenols. Here we saw both examples of alcohols. Now see here, for phenol, this hydroxyl group is directly attached to this aromatic ring. So this is a phenol. Now when phenol will react with the metal, that is sodium, it will form sodium phenoxide. See, this OH bond is cleaved. Here H is replaced by a hydrogen. So you have ONA and the hydrogen gas is released, which is showing the acidic nature of phenols. Okay, so see, whenever we are taking the case of alcohol, your alkoxide is formed, and whenever we are taking the case of phenol, your phenoxide is formed. That is, in phenol, this, if it is acting as an acid, it will donate its H plus, and here also this alcohol is acting as an acid, so it will donate its H plus. I hope you all remember the Bronsted-Lowry theory. The Bronsted-Lowry, he said that the Bronsted acids are those acids that donate its H plus, and Bronsted base are those bases that accept its proton, that is H plus. Okay, so you need to remember that to show that your alcohols and phenols are acidic in nature, the alcohols and phenols are reacted with metals, and when they are reacting with metals, they are liberating the hydrogen gas, and your oxygen and hydrogen bond is being cleaved. So your respective alkoxide and phenoxides are being formed. Okay. Now we will see that phenols are generally more acidic than alcohols. So this is a statement that we know that phenols are more acidic than alcohols. Now why is the phenols more acidic than alcohols? Let us see the reason for this. So the reason is based upon the hybridization of the carbon. One of the reason is based on the hybridization of the carbon. So the carbon which is attached to the OH group in phenol is sp2 hybridized. Okay, so whenever we are talking about phenols, you'll see the carbon to which your OH group is attached. In case of phenols, that carbon is sp2 hybridized. But when we talk this in case of alcohols, the carbon to which your OH group is attached is sp3 hybridized. Now, when I talk about sp2 hybridization and sp3 hybridization, then which one has more S character? S in sp3 there is more S character, or in sp2 there is more S character. So if I talk about in sp2, then in sp2 there is more S character as compared to sp3. In sp3 there is less S character. So we know that if the S character is more, the electronegativity is also more. So we know that in your phenols, the carbon to which your OH group is attached is more electronegative carbon. So if that carbon is more electronegative carbon, so it will withdraw the electron density from your oxygen. Okay, is this clear? Carbon is more electronegative because it is sp2 hybridized carbon. So your carbon will withdraw this electron density from this oxygen. Now what will happen? The electron density on this oxygen will be less now in case of phenols. So now what this oxygen will do? This oxygen will say to this hydrogen that I am sorry. Because carbon is withdrawing the electron density from me, I will withdraw the electron density from you. So this oxygen will withdraw the electron density from this. This oxygen will withdraw the electron density from this hydrogen. So your oxygen and hydrogen bonds become more polar. So when these bonds become more polar, your hydrogen will leave easily. Because how you say comment on acidity, the substances which donates H plus more easily are more acidic. So here, because the carbon to which your OH group is attached in case of phenol is sp2 hybridized. So that is why that carbon is more electronegative. So it is withdrawing the electron density from this oxygen. So what will happen? In turn, this oxygen will withdraw the electron density from this hydrogen, which will make their bond more polar, because this oxygen is more electronegative than this hydrogen. So it will develop a partial negative charge, and this hydrogen will develop a partial positive charge. So hydrogen will leave easily because phenols donate hydro H plus more easily as compared to alcohols. So that is why your phenols are more acidic. Now take the case of alcohols. In alcohols, the carbon to which your OH group is attached is sp3 hybridized. So if it is sp3 hybridized, it is less electronegative. Okay, so because it is less electronegative, it will not withdraw that electron density from the oxygen. Okay, so that is why in that case your phenols are more acidic. So this is one of the reasons. Okay, and another reason could also be because you know that in case of phenols, when if we talk about phenoxide ion, that is when your oxygen has donated its H plus, so it will be O minus. That is the phenoxide ion. Now in O minus, the electron density on oxygen is not localized; it is delocalized. Why? Because it is taking part in the resonance. You all know that in case of phenols, there are resonating structures. Now, since the electron density on oxygen is not localized, it is delocalized, so there'll be resonating structures. Okay, so if the electron density is not localized in oxygen, again, what it will do, it will withdraw the shared pair of electrons from this hydrogen, and the bond will become more polar and H plus will leave easily. So I hope now the reason is clear why your phenols are more acidic, because they donate H plus more easily as compared to alcohols. Now, higher stability of phenoxide ion, the negative charge on the alkoxide ion is localized on oxygen. Okay, now if I talk about alkoxide ions, that in case of alcohols, here this negative charge on oxygen is localized because there are no resonating structures or there is no resonance happening in case of alcohols. So the negative charge on this alkoxide ion is localized. Okay, but in case of phenoxide ions, what is happening? As I told you, this negative charge is not localized. It is delocalized in the aromatic ring. because this oxygen is directly connected with this aromatic ring. So its electron density will be distributed to this ring. So that means the electron density on this oxygen is not constant. It is delocalized in the aromatic ring. So delocalization stabilizes the negative charge on the phenoxide ion. Because of more resonating structures and resonance, this negative charge on the phenoxide ion is there, which is delocalized. So your delocalization is basically stabilizing your negative charge on the phenoxide ion. Okay, so if I say, then your phenoxide ion, that is this phenoxide ion, is more stable as compared to the alkoxide ion. Why it is more stable? Because of this delocalization has stabilized your negative charge in the aromatic ring. Now see this delocalization of negative charge in phenoxide ion. You all must have seen this in your class 11th standard, that how this resonance is happening. So see, this negative charge on this oxygen is not stabilized. You will see that this negative charge is distributed in whole ring. First it was on this oxygen, then now see it has came on this ortho position. And with that your pi electrons are also moving. Okay, because this is aromatic here. Now see, this negative charge came on ortho position, again it will come to this para position, and again it will come to this ortho position. So the effect of acidity is more renowned on ortho and para position, not on the meta position. Okay, we will discuss in the upcoming slide that how if your phenol is substituted with electron donating groups and electron withdrawing groups, how it affects your acidity. Okay, so see, this negative charge in all these five structures are coming on ortho and para position. So this effect is more renowned on ortho and para position. So as you can see in this figure, that the electron density on this oxygen is not localized. It is distributing throughout this ring. And the negative charge on this oxygen is stabilized because of this resonating structures and resonance. So your phenoxide ion is more stable than the alkoxide ion, because on alkoxide ion your electron density is localized on your oxygen. Okay, students, so I hope this is clear now, that why your phenols are generally more acidic than your alcohols, because phenols easily donate its H plus ions and alcohols do not easily donate its H plus ions. So if phenols donate it more easily, it will be more acidic. Now we will see the acidity of aliphatic alcohols. In previous slides, we discussed about the resonating structures of phenols. Now we will see towards this alcohol. Now in alcohol, you all know that there is this hydroxyl group, that is the OH group. And this OH bond is polar in nature. Why? Because your oxygen is more electronegative. So if your oxygen is more electronegative, what it will do, it will withdraw the electron density from this hydrogen, and it will develop a partial negative charge, and this hydrogen will develop a partial positive charge. So your OH bond polarity causes the acidic nature. So because of this bond polarity, there is acidic nature. Now oxygen attracts the OH bond pair electrons more strongly. Why? Because as I told, it is more electronegative. So if it is more electronegative, it will withdraw the electron density towards itself. So hydrogen becomes partially positive in this case. The bond polarization now enables the proton donation. So if the OH bond will become more polar, if the polarity of this OH bond will increase, this hydrogen will easily leave, or it will easily go out. Okay, so this bond polarization is enabling your proton donation. Now, if I say about reaction of alcohols with base, so this is your alcohols and this is your base. So you all know that if alcohol is acidic in nature, so what will happen? This alcohol will donate its proton. So this is the alcohol, and look at this structure. If this alcohol is acidic in nature, so it donates its H plus ions. So this is the alkoxide ion which is formed, and the base over here what is a bronze state base that accepts H plus? That will it will accept a proton. So see, this base, it is accepting one proton, so it is BH, and this alcohol is acting as an acid, so it loses one proton. So see, it has loses proton and it is formed as alkoxide ion. So this is the reaction of alcohol with bases. Okay, so if this alcohol is acting as an acid, then this will be the conjugate base. And if this is acting as a base, then this will act as a conjugate acid. Now the acidity of alcohols depends on the stability of the alkoxide ion. That is, as I told in the previous slide, conjugate base. So more stable will be the alkoxide ion, more acidic will be the phenol. Sorry, more acidic will be the alcohol. As we saw in case of phenols, the uh, phenoxide ion, that is the negative charge, is more stable. That is, the phenoxide ion is more stable because of the resonance and resonating structures. So phenols were more acidic. So more stable will be the alkoxide ion. Your alcohols will be more acidic. Okay, so the stability of your alkoxide ions follows in the order primary, secondary, and tertiary. Okay, now we will understand this reason of stability one by one. Okay, now look at this. This is your primary alcohol, this is a secondary alcohol, and this is a tertiary alcohol. Primary because the carbon to which your OH group is attached is further connected by one carbon atom only. Secondary because the carbon to which your OH group is attached is further connected to two carbon atoms. And tertiary, the carbon to which your OH group is attached is further connected to three carbon atoms. So primary, secondary, and tertiary. So I told the stability of the alkoxide ions. Alkoxide ions, that this oxygen will donate its H plus. So stability follows in the order primary, secondary, and tertiary. Okay. So if I ask you that, tell me which one will be more acidic, primary, secondary, or tertiary? You will say because the alkoxide ion of primary ion is more stable, so the acidity order will be primary, secondary, and tertiary. That means the primary will be more acidic. Then comes the secondary, and the tertiary will be least stable. Now, why this happens? All are alcohols, then why this primary one is more acidic and this tertiary one is least acidic? This is because of the increasing alkyl groups on secondary and tertiary carbon. Okay, now let us understand. Let's see, this is a primary alcohol. Okay, now this carbon is connected to one alkyl group. Okay, now what will happen? This alkyl group are electron donating groups. Now, since these alkyl groups are electron donating groups, so it will increase the electron density on your oxygen. Okay, because this carbon is connected to one alkyl group. So, if there are alkyl groups on this carbon, then this oxygen will take, because these are donating groups. So if these are donating groups, the electron density on this oxygen will increase. So if no oxygen is getting this electron density from this R group, will it take it from H? No, because now the stomach of this oxygen is fulfilled by these R groups. Okay, so if this oxygen will not withdraw the electron density from this hydrogen, then this bond will be less polar. So if this bond will be less polar, it will not easily give its H plus ions. Okay, this was about the alcohols. Now when I'm comparing the primary, secondary, and tertiary, see, in tertiary there are three R groups. So if there are three R groups, imagine the electron density on this oxygen. This oxygen will have so much electron density. So if this oxygen is getting so much electron density, it will not withdraw any electron density from this hydrogen. So the oxygen and hydrogen bond will be intact in this case. So if this bond will be intact, it will not easily donate its H plus ions. Okay, so because in tertiary there are more alkyl groups, so that is why these alkyl groups will increase more electron density on this oxygen. So this oxygen and hydrogen bond will be kept intact. And in primary there is only one alkyl group. So that this one alkyl group is not able to fulfill this oxygen requirement that much. as compared to the tertiary one. So that is why it will withdraw some electron density from this hydrogen. And here there are two alkyl groups and here there are three alkyl groups. I hope the reason is now clear that if there is more alkyl groups, then these alkyl groups are electron donating groups. If these are electron donating groups, then the electron density on oxygen will increase more as this alkyl group will increase. So more electron donation means less stable than negative charge on alkoxide ion. Then this alkoxide ion will be least stable because here there is more electron donation by these three alkyl groups. And in this primary one, your alkoxide ion will be more stable. Okay, because there is only one alkyl group. So you can see as your oxygen and hydrogen bond polarity is decreasing. In primary, there was most polarity. So as your oxygen and hydrogen bond polarity is decreasing, the acidic nature is decreasing. So primary is the most acidic, then comes the secondary, and least is the tertiary. I hope this is clear. Now we will see the effect of substituents on phenol acidity. That if I will add the substituents on phenol, I will make it a substituted phenol, then how their acidity will be affected. So first we will talk about electron withdrawing groups. So if I am adding the electron withdrawing groups on the phenol, then can you tell me that how will it affect the acidity of the phenol? Can you imagine? Now let us see. Now what does the electron withdrawing groups do? The electron withdrawing groups withdraw the electron density. So that means they pull the electron density away from the phenol through the resonance or inductive effect through through minus R and minus I effect, because electron withdrawing show minus R and minus I effect. So they pull the electron density from this phenol through resonance and inductive effects. And that is why it makes phenol more acidic by stabilizing the phenoxide ions. So when the electron withdrawing groups will be attached to your phenols, then your phenoxide ions will be more stable. So if the phenoxide ion will be more stable, the acidity will be more. Okay, so common electron withdrawing groups are NO2 group, cyanide group, carboxylic group, SO3H group. Now these all withdraw the electron density from your ring. Okay, so because they withdraw the electron density through resonance and inductive effects, so they make phenol more acidic because it will stabilize the phenoxide ion more. So if it will stabilize your phenoxide ion more, so what will happen when electron withdrawing groups are there? It will easily donate its H plus ions. Imagine if electron withdrawing groups are there attached to your ring. So it will withdraw more and more electron density. That means the electron density on the oxygen is now getting less. So if the electron density on the oxygen is getting less, it will it will withdraw the electrons from the hydrogen. So the oxygen and hydrogen bond gets more polar. So if that bond is getting more polar, your hydrogen will leave easily. And as I told when we were discussing about the resonance structures, that this effect is more pronounced if the substituents are placed in ortho and para position. Because we saw in the resonance that a negative charge comes on the ortho and para position. Okay, so this effect is most effective when the substituents are placed in the ortho or para position, and this is because of the resonance. So see, para-nitrophenol, it is 7.2, that it is more acidic than phenol. It has pKa 10. Okay, because in this, to the phenol, your nitro group is attached at para position. So this para-nitrophenol, and this is a simple phenol. This is substituted phenol. So to this phenol, your nitro group is attached to your phenol. So because this nitro group is attached, it will withdraw the electron density. So electron density on oxygen will be less. If electron density on the oxygen will be less, it will withdraw from the hydrogen and bond will become more polar and H plus will leave. So you can see the pKa of the nitrophenol is 7.2 and the phenol is 10. So this para-nitrophenol is more acidic. So this is a phenol and this is a substituted phenol in which electron withdrawing group is attached. If it is attached at ortho and para position, then it will be more effective. Okay, so if you take a simple phenol and if you take a substituted phenol with the electron withdrawing group and ortho and para position, so you will see that this one will be more acidic. Okay, now if I talk about electron donating groups, so we saw that electron withdrawing groups increases the acidity. Now what do you think the electron donating groups will do? Now, electron donating groups, they donate the electron density. So, if they are donating the electron density in oxygen will increase. Now, if the stomach of the oxygen is full, it will not take the electrons from the hydrogen. So, the bond will become less polar. If the bond will become less polar, it will not easily donate its H plus ion. Okay, so in electron donating group, we know that they donate the electron density through plus R and plus I effects. So it decreases the phenol acidity by destabilizing the phenoxide ion. In case of electron donating groups, the phenoxide ion is not stabilized. So if there is less stability of the phenoxide ions, the acidity will also be less. So the common electron donating groups are C this NH2 group, OH group, OR group, C minus CH3 and the C2H5. These are all electron donating groups, and this effect is more effective and more pronounced at ortho and para positions because of the resonance. Now, if I say about paramethoxyphenol, okay, and I talk about a phenol. So this is a phenol and this is a paramethoxyphenol. So paramethoxy means it is a electron donating group. Okay, methoxy group is a electron donating group. So if this is an electron donating group, it will donate the electron density to this ring and the electron density in oxygen will increase. If this electron density in oxygen will increase, it will not withdraw the electrons from this hydrogen. So it will make their bond less polar. If the bond is less polar, it will not easily donate it H plus ions. Okay, so if I talk about acidity, then this phenol will be more acidic as compared to this one because in this there is a electron donating group. So it will, what will happen, this phenoxide ion will be less stable. So in this one phenol will be more stable. See, paramethoxyphenol, the pK is A value is 10.2, and in the phenol here in this case the pK value is 10. So paramethoxyphenol is less acidic than phenol. So your phenol is more acidic. Now, if I talk about pKa values, you must have studied this relation that pKa is equal to minus log Ka. Okay, that means Ka over here is the acid dissociation constant. So Ka here tells you about the acid dissociation constant, and pKa is a measure of strength of acid. That means lower will be the pKa value, stronger will be the acid. Okay, is it clear that Ka here is a dissociation constant and pKa is a measure of strength of acid? The lesser will be the pKa value, more the stronger will be your acid, because pKa is determining your strength of acid. So look at this table. In this table, you see the pKa value. This is orthonitrophenol. Okay, now see the value is 7.2. Okay, similarly look at metanitrophenol. The value is 8.3. So I told you lower is the pKa value, stronger the acid. Compared to ortho and meta, see the value of orthonitrophenol pKa value is less. That means this orthonitrophenol is more acidic, because I told you the effect is more now in ortho and para position. And see here in metanitrophenol, the nitro group is attached to meta position. So that is why your orthonitrophenol is more acidic. Okay, and if I say about paranitrophenol, then the value is of ortho and para is similar. It only differs by 0.1. Okay, now see phenol, the pKa value is 10. That means your ortho, meta, and para, they all are more acidic than your phenol. Okay. And similarly, look at orthocresol, metacresol, paracresol in this, and ethanol. So in this all you will see the pKa values are higher, and ethanol has the highest pKa value. Okay. So if the pKa value of ethanol, that is an alcohol. So I said phenols are more acidic than alcohol. So see here, this alcohol, the pKa value is so much high, 15.9. So that means if the pKa value is high, that means it is a weak acid. Okay, because lower will be the pKa value, stronger will be the acid. In all these three compounds, you will see that your orthonitrophenol is most acidic because it has the lowest pKa value. Okay, I hope this is clear now. If I talk about ortho, meta, and paracresol, then these are substituted phenols in which OH group is attached. Okay, so you will see the pKa values. Their pKa values are higher. So these are less. So these are not the stronger acid, they are the weaker acid because pKa values are more. Okay, now we will solve one question. Now I told you about how you will see the acidic strength. So keeping all those points in mind, you will arrange the following compounds in increasing order of their acidic strength. So these following compounds are given to you. Okay, it decodes its structure and then you have to comment on their acidic strength. Okay, so I'm giving you 50 seconds, solve this question and then we will discuss. Okay, students, let's solve this question. Now we know that phenols are more acidic than alcohols, okay, because due to the resonance stabilization of phenoxide ions. Phenoxide ions are more stable than alkoxide ions, so your phenols are more acidic than alcohols. So if I talk about propane 1-ol, then your propane 1-ol in this is a acid. That is, this is an alcohol. So propane 1-ol will have the least acidity because this is an alcohol. So if this is an alcohol, its alkoxide ion will be least stable. Okay. So this propane 1-ol will have the least acidity. Now we will see the effect of substituents. Now the NO2 group is an electron withdrawing group. So I told you if the electron withdrawing group is attached, it increases the acidity. That if the NO2 group is attached, it will withdraw the electron density and the electron density in oxygen will be less. So the OH bond will become more polar. If there is electron donating group, it donates the electron density to the ring. So the oxygen will have now more electron density. It will not withdraw the electrons from the hydrogen. So the oxygen and hydrogen bond will become less polar. Your electron donating groups decreases the acidity. Okay. And if the NO2 groups will be more, if there is only one NO2 group and if there are two NO2 groups, so if the NO2 groups will increase, your acidity will also increase because more will be the electron withdrawing groups, more they will withdraw the electron density. The more they will withdraw the electron density, lesser will be the electron density on oxygen, and more that oxygen will withdraw the density from that hydrogen, making the OH bond more and more polar. Okay, so you will see that the order of your acidic strength is that 2, 4, 6 trinitrophenol is most acidic because see here electron withdrawing group is there and there are 3 electron withdrawing groups, that is 3 NO2 are there which is on ortho and para position. So imagine that how much they will withdraw this electron density from the ring and this oxygen will be electron deficient now. So it will withdraw from this hydrogen and this H plus will leave easily. Now see 3,5 dinitrophenol. In this there are two NO2 groups because in this there were more NO2 groups, so this was more acidic. And here there is only one NO2 group. Now phenol, in this phenol there is no electron withdrawing group attached. I told you if the electron withdrawing group is attached and ortho and para position, then the acidity increases more. Now look at this. In this, a electron donating group is attached to this phenol. If an electron donating group is attached, it will donates the electron density. The electron density on this oxygen will increase, so which will make this OH bond less polar. So it will not easily donate its H plus. And see, this is alcohol. I told you in case of alcohol, there are these R groups are there. That is, these alkyl groups are there. So these alkyl groups will donate this electron density on this oxygen. So it will not withdraw the electron density from this hydrogen. The oxygen and hydrogen bond will be intact in this case. So alcohols are least acidic. Then you will see the highest one is 2,4,6 trinitrophenol because 3 NO2 groups are attached. So I hope this question is clear. So this is your order of acidic strength. Now we will see some chemical reactions. Now we will see esterification reactions. Now let us see this esterification reactions. So your alcohols and phenols reacts with your carboxylic acid, acid chlorides and acidic anhydrides to form esters. So you will see that how your alcohols, when they react with carboxylic acid, ester is formed, or with acid chlorides or with acid anhydrides, it will form the esters. Now first we will see the reaction with the carboxylic acid. Now this is an alcohol and a phenol and this is a carboxylic acid. So here this reaction takes place in an acidic medium, that is H plus is there. So now see what will happen. This is a phenol or alcohol and this is a carboxylic acid. So your hydrogen of alcohol and phenol and your OH of this carboxylic acid will leave. I said your hydrogen of this alcohol and phenol and OH of your carboxylic acid will leave. That means the water will leave. So see here H2 is leaving. And to this R dash CO, this OR group is getting attached. O from here and R group from here. So see, this is ester is forming. Ester, that is R, C double bond O, OR. So see, the ester is forming. So you can see that the OH bond which is there is cleaved. Okay, so if the OH bond is here cleaved, your oxygen is acting as a nucleophile. Okay, so you have seen that how from alcohol and phenols, when they react with carboxylic acid, your hydrogen form alcohol and your OH from carboxylic acid, that is water, will leave and you will get your corresponding ester group. So see, this is a ethanol, which is an alcohol, and this is a ethanoic acid, which is a carboxylic acid. So when this will react, the hydrogen from here and OH from here will leave. So see, this H2O is leaving. Now this CH3, COO and this CH3, CH2 group, that is this alkyl group of oxygen gets of this alcohol gets attached. So you will see you will form ethyl ethonate. That is an ester will be formed. Okay. Now C for acid chlorides. Acid chlorides means R, C double bond O, Cl. A halogen will be attached. So this is an alcohols and phenols and this is acid chloride. So again what will happen? H from your alcohol and phenol and chlorine from your acid chloride will leave. So HCl is leaving and you will see R dash CO here, R dash CO, and this O and R group of alcohol and phenols get attached over here. So again a ester is formed. So your alcohols and phenols has reacted with acid chlorides. Look at this. This is a methanol, okay, which is an alcohol, and this is acetyl chloride. So hydrogen from here and Cl from here will leave as HCl and a corresponding ester will be formed. So in all these cases, you will see that the OH bond is cleaved. Okay, the OH bond is cleaved and this is acting as a nucleophile. Next, we will see the reaction with acid anhydride. So acid anhydride group is what? That is R, C double bond O, O C double bond O, CH3 or R group. So this is alcohol and phenols, and this is an acid anhydride. CR, C double bond O, and this is twice. Okay, so again you will see that an ester is formed and an acid is formed. That is a carboxylic acid, and the ester is formed in this case. Okay, so if you look at this reaction, this is an alcohol, which is an ethanol, and this is an acetic anhydride. So when your alcohol and acetic anhydride will react, you will get an ester and a carboxylic acid, CCS3COOH. So correspondingly, we get an ester as well as an acetic acid, which is a carboxylic acid. This was the reaction with acid anhydride. Okay. So in cases of acid anhydrides, if I'm saying, so an ester and a carboxylic acid, or acid, in case of acid chloride also you will get a ester. Okay, and in that case H2O will leave. Sorry, in that case HCl will leave. If I'm talking about acyl chloride, that means HCl will leave from there. So there is one application of aspirin synthesis, that is the acetylation of salicylic acid using acetic anhydride. So this is the process of aspirin. You all must know the aspirin, how much it has used in medical field, medical applications. So this is a salicylic acid, okay? And when you have treated it with acetic anhydride in H plus, you will see that your aspirin is formed. Okay, that is this will, when this will attack on this oxygen, you will see the H will leave and this group will be here. That is, you will see an ester group will be formed, and a carboxylic acid is being also formed over here. So when you're here, you will see on your carboxylic, when this is reacting with acetic anhydride, you will get a acetyl salicylic acid. Here is your carboxylic group is there, and one this group is there, and correspondingly you will get a carboxylic acid. So this was how you synthesize aspirin, that is by doing the acetylation of salicylic acid using acetic anhydride. Okay, so you will see here an ester group is attached at this ortho position. Okay, is it clear? So this is a similar reaction. If your phenol is reacting with your anhydride, you will get a ester and a carboxylic acid. Okay. Now we will solve one question that give reason for the higher boiling point of ethanol in comparison to methoxymethane. Okay. So I'll give you 40 seconds. You tell me, solve this question, and then we will discuss. Okay, students, so let's see the solution. So you will see that ethanol, which is an alcohol, undergoes intermolecular hydrogen bonding because of the presence of OH group. So in alcohol, there is OH group which forms a strong intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay, so if the bonding is strong, you have to give extra energy to break that bonding. So if you have to give more energy, that means your boiling point will be also more in this case. The boiling point becomes higher. But when we talk about methoxymethane, which is a ether, you will see that it does not have any hydrogen bond. Okay, it has only carbon and oxygen bond. And that carbon single bond oxygen is a polar bond. So here dipole-dipole interaction is present. But your dipole-dipole interaction is weaker than the intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So if the dipole-dipole interactions present is weaker, so that means you have to give less energy to separate the molecules. So if you have to give less energy, means the boiling point will be less. So if we compare for your alcohol, if your ethanol, which is an alcohol, and methoxymethane, then your alcohol here the case is ethanol, it will have the higher boiling point as compared to your methoxymethane. So this is a ethanol, and you can see how there is hydrogen bonding. See this oxygen and this hydrogen. These dotted lines represents the hydrogen bonding over here. Okay, so this is the strong intermolecular hydrogen bonding because of the OH group. So that is why your ethanol will have a higher boiling point. Okay, so that is summarize whatever we studied today. So we studied that alcohol can act as both nucleophile as well as your electrophiles. Okay, and we discussed about the acidity, that phenols are more acidic because of the resonance stabilization of phenoxide ion. But phenoxide ions are more stabilized, so that is why your phenols are more stable, because alkoxide ions are less stable than phenoxide ions. Okay, and alcohols are destabilized by plus I effects on alkyl groups. I told you that if alkyl groups will increase in alcohols, the OH bond will become less polar. And if the OH bond will become less polar, it will not easily donate its H plus ion. So acidity will decrease. So primary one is most acidic, then comes the secondary one, and tertiary one is the least acidic. Okay, and we discussed about the effects of substituents on phenols, that if electron withdrawing groups are attached on phenols, it will increase the acidity because they withdraw the electron density. And if donating groups are attached like CH3 group, they decrease the acidity because they donate the electron density. It will make the OH bond less polar. Then we saw the chemical reactions, that alcohols reacts with your metals. It form alkoxides, phenoxides, and hydrogen gas is liberated. And then we saw that a carboxylic acids, acid chlorides, and acidic anhydrides, they form esters whenever they are reacted with alcohols and phenols. Okay, so I hope that whatever I taught you today is clear. Thank you, students, for attending the lecture. Hope you have a good day.